perception are distorted. He becomes confused, and he displays irresponsibility and...
Players must attend press conferences, even after crushing defeats. The NFL demands that players be ready to speak to the media after every game. If athletes don't, there may be dire consequences. The official policy states players must be available to the media following every game and regularly during the practice week as required under league rules. Star players, or other players with unusually heavy media demands, must be available to the media that regularly cover their teams at least once during the practice week in addition to their required post-game media availability. Each club will open its locker room during the normal practice week based on a Sunday game on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to all accredited media for player interviews for a minimum of 45 minutes. Marshawn Lynch famously skipped a press conference in 2014 and was fined $0 for the infraction. They have to be incredibly ill to call in sick. NFL players can take sick days if they are truly ill. But the NFL definition of too sick to work is much more nuanced than the average one. A player can't usually call out with a common cold or a headache. This might be why so few NFL players ever seem to get sick. There are consequences for oversleeping. Many people set their alarm clocks and their phones to avoid sleeping through important events. NFL players might want to set their alarm clocks, phones, microwave clocks, egg timers, and schedule wake-up calls while they are at it. They can be heavily fined for oversleeping and missing practice. In best-case scenarios, players are sent home whenever they decide to show up. Even some high-profile players receive this punishment. Players can be fined for being overweight. Football players are not typically the slimmest athletes. In fact, they tend to be big and burly. And the NFL is fine with that, as long as players aren't too big and burly. If a player is overweight, he can be fined up to for every pound over the limit. The limit, however, differs from player to player and is determined by the team officials. The relatively good news is that players can't be fined more than 2 times in 1 week. End zone celebrations for touchdowns can't cross a certain line. There is a whole laundry list of do's and don'ts for touchdown celebrations. The merriment can't cross a certain line on the field, players can't fall to the ground in glory, and they can't do anything that might be construed as violent or sexual. Pre-planned team celebrations are allowed, but only because 2 players were fined more than $0 each for doing a pre-choreographed victory dance. Players can only wear approved accessories. Not only are NFL players' clothing choices tightly monitored, so too are their accessories. For instance, the league devoted 1 month to breast cancer awareness, working with organizations like the American Cancer Society. Players were required to wear only approved pink accessories during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. One player asked to wear the pink accessories all year long as a tribute to his mother, who died of breast cancer. His request was denied, though, because it didn't adhere to league rules. They aren't allowed to miss meetings. NFL players who miss meetings get fined by the league. Attendance at league events is considered mandatory for everyone. In a well-publicized 2016 story, a Dallas Cowboys wide receiver was fined an undisclosed amount for missing both a scheduled MRI and a team meeting. The dress code is surprisingly strict. The NFL polices players' clothing extremely closely. In fact, the league's official dress code policy is an astounding 5 pages long. The guidelines prohibit bandanas, pants must fall below the knee, team jerseys must be tucked in, and towels can only be placed in the front of a player's pants. Also, if a player wants to wear a non-league sanctioned face mask, an approved doctor must submit a written report to the NFL before approval can be granted.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and like and comment down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.